Hey there, welcome to the Yoga Health Nurse channel. In this video, we will go through the third limb of yoga, the Niyamas. I will explain to you how you can incorporate the Niyamas into your nurse life. Tonight, we are going to continue our 8-week journey, and that is all about the 8 limbs of yoga. So we'll discuss tonight the niyamas. And this is really the quick and dirty. Now, there are tons of books and tons of podcasts and huge long lectures all about the stuff that I'm sharing with you, but part of what I'm doing is condensing it all and making it digestible and also relating it to nursing. So just a reminder, if you haven't yet experienced the overall discussion of the 8 limbs or the yamas, which we discussed last week, you can pop back there and look at that video anytime. All right, so niyama, and the niyamas usually refers to duties directed towards ourselves, but it can also be considered with our actions towards the outside world. And just like the yamas, there are 5 niyamas. And the niyamas are really personally one of my favorites because they tend to build character. So if you're new here, I am like obsessed with introspection. I think that's really where a lot of our growth happens. And the niyamas really are a chance for a lot of introspection. All right, so we're going to go through them. So number 1 is saucha, and that basically means cleanliness. Now, as nurses, we think of cleanliness, which we can integrate here as sterile fields, right? So you have to be pretty mindful when you're working in a sterile field. You also want to assure that you have proper hand hygiene going on, you and family members and patients. So again, being mindful, being present, taking that extra moment, because hand washing can save lives, to make sure that you have that saucha or the cleanliness. And then isolation precautions is always a big one, and you want to protect yourself and your patients. All right, so if we kind of just look at the outside, that's what we can correlate with nursing and the niyamas. But then there's also cleanliness of yourself, right? So nursing is a profession. How are you showing up professionally to work? And your first presentation or your first impression to your patient, how are you coming off? Not only your appearance, but your body language and your first initial reaction or interaction with that patient and their families as well, right? So this all is entailed in saucha or cleanliness. So really through yoga and through, breath work and mindful living, then you can really learn how to purify your thoughts and allow yourself to cleanse out negativity. Now, many times the brain is constantly working, and I will do another video on this about meditation, because a lot of the times we think that meditation, like our brain needs to completely come to a halt and stop working, and that's not necessarily true, because this thing never stops working. It's like sitting there and telling your heart to stop beating. It's not going to happen when you're in meditation. So really we want to work through those thoughts that we're having, but we want to purify the thoughts. So living in saucha or cleanliness helps you to purify those thoughts. So just start to become aware of maybe the negative things that you're saying towards yourself, right? Give yourself little dings every time you say that, and then just start to become aware of how often you're actually doing that. And more repetitive, the more you start to believe it. So that's number 1, saucha. Again, we can go way further into this. And whenever I have one-on-one clients, we definitely work on this. We dive deep. So if that's something that this is really resonating with you, please reach out to me. We can dive really deep into the niyamas and the yamas for your life in particular. Number 2, santosha, which is contentment. All right, so we open our hearts into gratitude with contentment for all that we are, for all that we have, and for all that we've achieved. Right? So as nurses, we stand here, we've went through grueling nursing programs, and we're still in the profession despite, the emotional and sometimes unfortunately physical shit that we basically have to deal with. So, opening our hearts into gratitude for that, for our experience, for the opportunity to actually have an impact on people's life, and hopefully it's a positive one. So as nurses, we see a lot of detrimental effects that disease can actually have on one's life. So I really encourage you to show gratitude towards yourself first. Show gratitude towards yourself first, and then show gratitude towards others, okay, and their current state of being. So wherever you are right now in your current state of being, right, be here now, your current state of being. Don't think about right now where you're going to be in 5 years or 5 weeks or 5 hours, but be here now and be content with where you are and showing gratitude and thinking about gratitude, okay? So number 3 is tapas, and that means self-discipline or heat. And many of us have a very hard time with self-discipline, right? So that's why we fall off the wagon a lot of times if we're on like a nutrition plan, or we're on a workout plan, right? Or we're like, yeah, I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to do, morning routines and hop into that. And then we fall off, right? So this is all about self-discipline, feeling the heat. When you're sitting in the fire, do you sit in the fire? Do you sit next to the fire? All that kind of thinking. So what you say, what you think, and what you feel, right? When you're living a tapas, all of this, say, think, and feel are all in alignment, right? So that's all the yoga aspect of things. And knowing also like where you get poked, right? With like the hot poker, where you feel the heat, knowing that you want to know things that ignite you. And not only things, but people as well. Like, where are your triggers, and where do you go when you are feeling that fire? Like, what do you do? How do you help to kind of put out the fire in your life, right? So that's number 3 is tapas. The next one is my personal favorite, which is svadhyaya, and that means self-study. And this is like where journaling is amazing. And really, this gets to the essence of our being. So, like, if you take away everything that you are, like a mom, a wife, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, whatever you are, right? A nurse, a friend, like, take all of that away. Take all the hats that you wear away and really sit and meditate on that and think about that. Like, if you take everything away, all your material stuff, all of your roles, like, who are you? Right? And sometimes it's like really weird to think about, but it's necessary. And I want to ask you, like, it's so important to know who you are and who you want to be as a nurse. And as our nurse life gets like really, really messy, we tend to get lost on that path, right? So it's always important to kind of bring ourselves back. And that's how yoga can really help you. It helps you to bring back the passion, the fire, the light inside you, back into the nursing profession. Okay. And this is, I think, solely like, yeah, the physical aspect of like the postures and stuff really helped me to like help me with my neck and shoulder pain. But like, when I felt burnt out and tired and just done with nursing, like this self-study, like studying myself when I was moving on the mat, studying myself when I was in silence, studying myself when I sat still, in meditation, this is where I learned the most about myself. Okay, so what kind of nurse do you want to be? What steps do you have to take to get there? What's holding you back from your goals? And where were you the best nurse you could be today? So this is always a great journaling exercise at the end of the day. Were you the best nurse you could be today? And it's okay if the answer is no. Like, it's okay. But that's how you use this svadhyaya, this self-study, to help you become the ideal nurse person that you want to be, right, in the world. And how can you improve, right? So the first thing is to kind of like, and we're going to talk about this next, is surrendering and letting go, but like letting go of maybe what nursing school led you to think that you should be like, and really getting connected to how you want to be. If that makes sense, okay? So the 5th one after self-study is surrender. And this one is surrendering your ego and opening up your heart. And this may be very, very, very difficult for most people. And we're letting the divine force, the universe, God, whatever you feel like you are connected to from the higher being, you let that come into your life. All right. And this brings you peace. It brings you ease to yourself, and it allows you to shine the light to others, right? It allows you to shine this peace and this healing to others. And I feel like as nurses, we really have that like innate ability to do that. That's why most of us have gone in there. But again, through the stress, through the anxiety, and through the pain, the physical and the emotional pain of being a nurse, we lose that light, right? The light starts to dim. So, again, these are the niyamas. They are my favorite limb of yoga. And you can see as I went through that there's a lot of stuff here to like work through. So, if you want to work further through that, I take one-on-one clients to do that. Again, we dive deep. And then another one is to consider signing up for the monthly membership that is coming out. It's the Yoga Health Nurse Healthy Healer Circle, and the doors open to that on March 1st. All right. So if you haven't yet, grab my freebie, 3-day yoga challenge. Taste a little bit of yoga, how Yoga Health Nurse kind of delivers it to you through movement, breath work, and mindfulness. And let me know how you feel afterwards, how the experience was. I want to get to know you and your experience and how yoga is going to help you in your nurse life. All right. So thanks so much for taking the time this evening to be with me. And if you are obviously watching this at another time, again, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And the nurse in me honors the nurse in you. And let's namaste in nursing. Well, there you have it, how to incorporate the niyamas into your nurse life. I hope that you really enjoyed this video and that you took up all the great little golden nuggets of information that I gave you. If you'd like to join the 3-day yoga challenge, feel free to click the link below and get started. And feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I would love to hear from you, and I love connecting to all nurses around the world. Namaste in nursing.